A new study of advertising materials and marketing brochures sent by pharmaceutical companies to GPs in Germany has found that around 94% of the information they contain is not based on scientific evidence.
Zawartych w nich informacji nie ma oparcia w dowodach naukowych.
How many percent?
Czekaj.
94%. 94% is almost 100%. Minus 6%. Only 6% of information is backed by scientific evidence. Are you saying that in the days before I was enlightened? At a time when 4 medical representatives came into my office a day and each of them left some leaflet with scientific evidence to support their thesis and, by the way, asked me to prescribe this drug to patients because it helps a lot. Are you saying that 94% of the information in these leaflets had no scientific backing? I'm not saying that because that's what happens in Germany. I assume it's different in Poland. I assume that in Poland there is 100% truth. This is a study that analyzed leaflets in Germany. There are liars in Germany, and in Poland we rely on facts. Okay, you've calmed me down. It's good that I was prescribing these drugs to patients. Seriously speaking, I think that this percentage is very similar in Poland, especially considering the 2021 report of the Supreme Audit Office on the education of obese children. The report makes it clear that in almost 70% of education is based on giving a leaflet to the patient's parents or the patient. Leaflets that are distributed by pharmaceutical companies. See what world we live in. You need to know how the world is structured to make informed decisions, not to get caught. We are professionals who should have reliable and up-to-date knowledge. We pass this knowledge on to patients or make therapeutic decisions based on it. And the knowledge we acquire is most often incompatible with science. I have to say it. Pharmaceutical companies are the main source of knowledge for doctors. Let's not be fooled. We are here to explain these mechanisms to you. We must have limited confidence in such situations. It's not about seeing a problem and a threat everywhere now. It's about starting to think even more independently and consciously. See what mechanisms function there in Germany. I'm trying to think logically. Since Germany, such an orderly country, let itself be deceived. What must be happening in these slightly worse countries? In countries with worse access to knowledge? About 15% of the brochures did not contain any quotations. On the other hand, 22% of the brochures contained quotations whose source could not be found. There was a quote, but it had no source in scientific research. We were deceived. I think it's just a printing error. I think they meant well. In 63% of the brochures, the information was linked to scientific articles. But this information did not reflect the results of scientific research. Only 6% of the brochures contained claims supported by science and verifiable by literature. Look, I remember those flyers. They are really done very professionally. There are graphs and percentages on these leaflets. These leaflets tell you that something is more effective or reduces the risk of something. It is written in very large font. In fact, this subliminal message is powerful. You are not even aware of this subliminal message. Even if you take this leaflet and throw it in the trash, you will still remember the name of the drug. In time, you will start prescribing this drug to patients anyway. And one may ask, what should we take?
Przedstawiane jako te tiktaki,
We live in a world where the image of drugs is very warm.
Czyli toksyny.
Medicines are depicted as candies, as colored pills.
Uwierzyło w to, że tak naprawdę leki
Many
są
people
dla
believe that
wszystko.
drugs are for
I
everything.
leki są
Many people believe that you can take drugs without any responsibility.
A to, że cię na przykład za
You're
2-3
taking the
tygodnie,
drug.
będzie
And the
mieć
fact that in
problem
2 weeks you will have problems with your stomach, kidneys,
na
liver,
przykład problemy alergiczne, problemy ze
allergy
spaniem,
problems,
problemy
sleep
z
problems,
wieloma
multiple
narządami.
organ problems.
Nie, ale inaczej.
It's the fault of eating meat.
Mięso, właśnie to jest inaczej, no nie dajmy się zwariować.
Let's not go
słuchajcie,
crazy.
niezależnie myśląca społeczności,
Hear up, independent thinking community.
Zacznijmy odkręcać się od tego
Let's stop
myślenia,
thinking that drugs
że
are effective in the long term in chronic diseases and metabolic diseases.
metaboliczne choroby mogą dać
The scientist at the institute who developed this study published in the
Który
BMJ.
opracował to badanie.
This is a great place to publish your research.
Świetne.
The scientist points out that the advertising materials presented to doctors distorted the picture of drug profiles.
Materiały reklamowe przedstawione lekarzom
The article lists several examples of misinterpretations.
W artykule wymieniono kilka przykładów.
For example, guidelines from medical scientific societies were misquoted.
Medycznych towarzystw naukowych.
Medication side effects were altered or minimized.
Uboczne leków.
Patient groups were incorrectly defined.
Leków były minimalizowane. Grupy pacjentów były
Test
błędnie
results were
zdefiniowane,
overlooked,
a wyniki
treatment
badań
effects
były
were
pomijane.
exaggerated.
Efekty leczenia były wyolbrzymiane.
The risks and side
manipulowało się
effects were
ryzykiem,
distorted.
skutkami,
Good
ubocznymi
therapeutic
leków.
effects have been taken from animal
Te
studies.
dobre efekty były brane z badań na
It's time to
zwierzętach.
stop flipping the argumentomy for scientific research on what is happening in the internet space.
Przerzucać się argumentami na badania naukowe.
I have a study that low-carb diets increase the risk of stroke and heart attack and damage the kidneys.
Badanie na to, że diety
Study signed by a representative of the Coca-Cola concern in an apron.
Nerek, to podpisane Coca-Cola, prawda?
Let's not turn off logical thinking. We are aware of how the world of scientific research is structured. Let's not turn off logical thinking. Let logic come first in making therapeutic decisions for your patient. The authors of the publication warn that such a large amount of misinformation threatens the lives of patients. Studies in other countries have shown that doctors tend to base their decisions on advertising materials sent out by pharmaceutical companies. Therefore, the authors of the publication believe that independent institutions should be established to monitor the content of such materials. The German pharmaceutical industry decided to tighten up. Blah, blah, blah. The German Association of Pharmaceutical Companies said that. Let's do something to stop them talking. We will do everything to improve the verification process of leaflets distributed to doctors in surgeries. Patients' health is our top priority. We will do everything we can to improve it. That's more or less what it sounded like. This Association of Pharmaceutical Companies has announced that its members have formed an independent tribunal in Berlin. The members of this tribunal will be elected by pharmaceutical companies and physician groups, but they will not be elected representatives of these pharmaceutical companies. Not at all. Members of the tribunal will be able to impose fines of up to $50,000. Pharmaceutical companies will fine themselves $50,000.
I teraz będą mogli
And the matter is settled.
nakładać 50 tysięcy, czyli
What do you
firmy
mean?
farmaceutyczne będą sobie nakładać
I think the matter is settled.
$50,000,
Problem solved.
50 tysięcy tam euro.
What year is it?
No i co się czepiasz? Załatwiona sprawa,
2004.
tak? Co się czepiasz?
Everything has
Sprawa
probably changed for the
załatwiona,
better.
Temat rozwiązany, odhaczony.
It's outdated.
Będzie dobrze.
They established this society in 2004.
No to nie, to my już jesteśmy
Let's give them 5 years.
2004 to kiedy oni powołali...
It's 2009.
Kolesiostwo.
Okay, I think it's no longer a
Ja
problem.
myślę, że to dajmy im 2 lata.
From now on, all leaflets are
Nie
reliable.
ma problemu.
Nie ma problemu.
Nie, już teraz wszystkie
Okay.
są wiarygodne.
We have a request for you. If you get knowledge and inspiration from us, if you think you can live beautifully thanks to the content from our channel, we kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to the channel and click that bell. I know we repeat ourselves, but it is very important to us. Our channel saves many lives thanks to your recommendations. Thumb up.
Walnijcie w ciuka przy
Then
okazji,
soulless
wtedy
algorithms will send this video
ten
on.
film dalej.